Guys, you know what I just realized? I haven't recapped the first couple of weeks of Patriots free agency. And boy, was it wild. They talk about free agency frenzy. The Patriots went crazy in free agency. It was unbelievable. And I guess I didn't realize that I haven't recapped it because there's been so much other stuff that's been going on around the league. Like the 49ers screwing up everything with trading up to the third pick, with Deshaun Watson's allegations going on. There's just been so much stuff. I just completely forgot about my favorite team and what they did in free agency. And it just so happens that they did the most in free agency. They spent like some of the most money they've ever spent in their entire existence in this one free agency to revamp this team, which needed such a revamp. I mean, it needed such an improvement, and they finally addressed some of the situations and some of the problems that they needed to address. They got some tight ends, they got some more weapons at receiver, they got a nice defensive tackle, they got a nice safety, a nice linebacker, they got some big time signings. Plus they bringing back Dante Hightower, they're bringing back all the guys that sat out for the virus last season and didn't want to play. They did lose Joe Thuney, which does hurt. He goes to Kansas City, which hurts even more because Kansas City is my mortal enemy. And that does hurt. So they still have David Andrews, which is big. They brought back Trent Brown on the trade from the Raiders, which is huge because he's a big-time piece. He played so well when he was here a couple years ago. They had to let him go because they couldn't pay him. And then now he's back on a trade. So that's fantastic. I actually have the free agency list because I can't remember everybody that they signed. They signed so many. So they signed Hunter Henry from the Chargers, who is a fantastic tight end, on a 3-year, $37.5 million deal. They signed Jonnu Smith to be the number 2, or maybe number 1, on a 4-year, $50 million deal. They signed Kendrick Bourne on a 3-year, $22.5 million deal to be another wide receiver weapon. They signed Nelson Aguilar. It doesn't give me his money here, but I think he got like a 3-year deal or some 2-year deal maybe. They signed Matthew Judon on a 4-year, $56 million deal, so they splashed a huge amount of cash on Matthew Judon, who's a fantastic outside linebacker. They got Dietrich Wise back. They got Davon Gouchot. I don't know how to pronounce his. I've never known how to pronounce his name, from the Dolphins last year. They signed him in free agency for 2 years, $16 million. They got Henry Anderson from, I think, the Jets. He's on a 2-year deal. Jalen Mills from Philadelphia, 4-year, $24 million deal, and they brought back Justin Bethel. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what these guys have done. I think all of those are positions of need. All of those players, I hope, will work out, especially the tight ends. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith is a huge get for this offense because Cam Newton had really nowhere to throw the football. I mean, Julian Edelman got hurt early in the season. He was done. Jacoby Myers played okay, but he's not a number 1 on any NFL team. He's not even a number 2. He's probably a 3 or a 4 at best on a good NFL team, and he was playing some number 1 minutes, and we can't have that. So getting a Hunter Henry and getting a Jonnu Smith is huge because the Patriots love to run that 2 tight end system. They used to run it with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez before Aaron Hernandez killed somebody, and then we don't want to talk about that. But they never really got back to that 2 tight end system once Hernandez was off the team. So bringing these 2 tight ends who are huge red zone threats, who are huge big play threats like Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry is fantastic for this team. And Cam Newton's got some nice weapons. Now Nelson Aguilar is a decent player. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I just don't think he's that great of a wide receiver, but he's okay. He can catch the football, which is what you need. So he's good. Kendrick Bourne's a good wide receiver too. He's a nice 3rd down wide receiver. You could throw a slant, get him the football. Getting Matthew Judon is a big play because Matthew Judon on the Ravens last year was fantastic. He's been fantastic for a few years now. He's definitely worth $56 million. I just hope that he produces for the Patriots like he produced for the Ravens to be able to get that amount of money from the Patriots. So I think it's a big-time move to get Judon. Getting Jalen Mills is a sneaky one. I think Jalen Mills might have been one of the better signings that they had in this entire free agency period because I think Jalen Mills is a top strong safety, even just top defensive back in the league. And nobody really talks about him. He's pretty underrated, but I think he's a solid strong safety. I think he's a solid safety in general. And especially if Patrick Chung's not going to be there anymore, I think Jalen Mills can step right in alongside a Devin McCourty, alongside a Jason McCourty and a not Justin Jackson. What's his freaking JC Jackson? That's what his name is. And play that middle of the field with Devin McCourty and stuff. So I think that all the signings that the Patriots did this offseason are fantastic. I like them. I'm not mad at any of them. I am a little bit mad that they spent so much money, but then again, I'm happy that they spent so much money because they never spend that much money at all. Like, they usually spend like 30-something million on like 4 different guys. They never spend 35 million on one guy, and they finally have done similar things to that. So that makes me happy. And now there's all these rumors that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded back to New England, and there's rumors that the Patriots are going to trade up to like the 3rd or 4th pick and get Justin Fields. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's crazy. I hope you guys are along for the ride because it's going to be a crazy, crazy month of April once, and even into May when we start to recap all this stuff. So I hope you guys have that subscription button hit and that notification bell ticked because you're not going to want to miss out on any of this recap from this Patriots fan. Smash that like button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.